Welcome. Obviously, 11 years on, there's still a need to talk about junior mining. We still struggle to define a junior miner. Is it 10 billion rands or less? Is it big egos or small egos? Is it guys who do exploration? It doesn't particularly matter because what we bring together is people who are happy to come and share in the conversation about the challenges and opportunities that junior mining face in South Africa and in Southern Africa especially. It's fantastic to have a sold-out house. That means the chair next to you should have been filled. It's obviously a person who's lazy or stuck in traffic. Welcome to all our online participants. We'll do our best to accommodate you through our platform for Q&A and so on. I need to start off by thanking our sponsors. There's quite a few mining industry partners, but this conference specifically is possible because of the sponsorships of DRA and ENS. So you'll see I treat them nicely. It's not my natural style. I don't particularly like them. They are engineers and lawyers, but I have to suck up for money. Okay, so that's what I do. But you can be nice to them. I don't have to. Okay, just be nice to the bloody people. Okay. I have to really, really thank the team. Paula, you and your world-class team, I think you put conferences up like nobody else does. I'm so proud to be associated after many years, so thank you for what you guys do. So suddenly, every flippin' mineral in the world is critical, eh? Isn't that fantastic? Our time has come. It's a pity I'm so old, eh? Jeez, I may not be around when the copper is getting mined in the Eastern Cape, in the East, where's that, Northern Cape, and, you know, when lithium gets mined in Zimbabwe, but the time has come. Wars are being stopped for critical minerals that doesn't exist. So we live in a fantastic time. I do think, finally, after 120 years of conversation, South Africa has published a critical minerals approach and list. It's easy to agree with the approach that some minerals are more critical for the South African context and economy than others. And you can disagree with the actual minerals listed. To me, that's not really the point. I think we're going to have to get our minds around how do we focus. If you thought you could watch Prime TV and see somebody who doesn't know a hell of a lot about mining talking about rare earths and how that plays out in the geopolitical bluster of the moment, flip, guys. Haven't we lived for a time like this? Suddenly, us miners are even more important than the other industries. But I think it's very good for us to have an honest reflection of where do we, as explorers and junior miners, fit in. If you look at various jurisdictions, I think it's fair to say that the average time from the first dollar going into the ground for exploration to the first dollar of revenue is probably 20 years. So we need to take a cold shower, cool down a bit, and the hype of the moment is fantastic, but it's 20 years from us getting our house in order to attract exploration dollars before those mines will be built, commissioned, and delivering. So let's keep perspective. This is truly legacy, generational stuff we're talking about. Doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. So unless pit to port to China is the game, we really will have to reindustrialize the value chain. We'll have to do the things we used to do and can no longer do. But how do we do that without government support? I can categorically state it ain't going to happen. No minister can force a mining company into building beneficiation plants that doesn't make commercial sense against China. I speak with a little bit of gray hair, scars on my back, and current knowledge about that space. So we're going to need government support. We're going to even need serious investment, friendly policies. My favorite emojis. Yeah. Good luck with that. But today, we're going to focus on what will it take to create an enabling environment in South Africa. I think our first panel is going to argue that perhaps some of the current thinking in terms of legislation is not that. But let them argue that, then I can still be friendly with the minister and his DG. We're going to discuss the challenges and risks that we face in Africa. Funding, or the lack of funding, always deserves a conversation. And if we look at the panel, I think we're all going to understand it so much better. ESG and all the challenges associated with energy, it's still with us. An executive order doesn't make it go away. I mean, it's still an issue, and it still impacts dramatically, and it should impact dramatically on how we think about our businesses, and especially in exploration and junior mining. But we're also going to feature some really mad people that are actually playing in the space today. I mean, it helps to be mad. Errol, you can stop laughing. I mean, that's a hysterical reaction, you see. I mean, you have to be stir crazy to take this challenge on. And yet, we're going to today showcase 4 such companies, and tomorrow many more. Because I think it is when the real people speak about the real challenges on the ground that we're going to learn the most. And then, I mean, sort of in a slightly lighter note, we're going to bust some balls. We're going to bust some myths right at the end of the day before we do a shisha nyama. I think that's something like a braai, but if it's culturally correct, it will be burnt meat. Shisha nyama has to be burnt meat. I mean, we know where our fellow South Africans come from. You have to burn meat properly. So we'll see where we land on the shisha nyama, dop and chop sort of thing. So I'm excited for us to go. Before we go, I need to introduce you again to our platform. Take your phone in the right hand, switch it on, find your camera, point your camera at this little thingamadingsky. I still don't know what it is, some code. It should give you a little yellow link on the iPhone. You click on that, it says Slido. You may have to wait a little bit. And then you get to our first practice question, straight to the first practice question. It is a practice question. So which of the South African delegation to the White House did the best? The politicians? It's obviously a joke. The golfers? Clearly a joke. The old man? Or the union boss? And then you have to press send. I refuse to be in an audience who thought that Retief Goosen did well. Paula, have you got a backup chairman? I'm leaving the building now. So with that knowing, you've just discovered how you're going to participate throughout the day when we put questions to you. Some of them will be these multiple choice ones. Some of them will be yes, no ones. We've got the zero bullshit parameter. So when the DDG tells us this cadastral system is going to be the best in the world, we may check in with the audience and say, do you agree that we are onto a world-class system, yes or no? And we'll just check whether the audience accepts the message of the speaker or not. But please bring your thick skin, Mr. Presenter, Miss Presenter, and audience. It's tongue-in-cheek. So, I mean, I still have to deal with the DG and the minister afterwards, so don't cause me too much trouble. So I want to give you a simple yes or no example to practice with. Without incentives, like, for example, flow-through shares, exploration will never increase. Yes or no? I could actually work out how many government officials are in the room by looking at the votes. That's a simple yes or no. I mess this up all the time. Remember, my mother tongue is Afrikaans. So we do the double negative. So when I'm done with a question, you English-speaking people don't know what I've asked. But I'm going to do my best to not confuse you unnecessarily. Okay. I can only try and continue to try. Okay, simple one. I hope everybody who pays attention, exploration worldwide is incentivized, and there's a good reason for that. Somehow we think South Africa's endowment will get us exploration without that. The final question is a test. This is an IQ test. I've warmed you up. I'm now seeing if you can actually read sentences and come to a conclusion. Which of these statements do you agree with the most? Now, I'm asking these questions because these are the myths we are busting at the end. The new US administration will be good for junior mining. You can only choose one. Junior mining in Africa cannot succeed without the Chinese. Partnerships seems to be important, but they're wishful thinking. South Africa is getting there with critical minerals. The cadastral system will be the holy grail for junior mining. Yes, it's a stupid question. I don't know which one to vote. I'm setting my Mythbusters up for fun at the end. You're going to see where the audience was when you started your arguments towards the end of the day. Simple, easy. The most important use for Slido is this is the way you're going to get your questions to the front, to me. Every single panel, every single presenter. We're going to try and have a time for Q&A, but the questions will come via me. So you will type in the question. That means you sit, you think, and you formulate it. You type it in as short as possible. It comes to me. And in the context of the conversation, I then subjectively pick the ones that I think take the conversation forward or embarrass the DG or whatever. And I blame you as the audience for doing that. Okay, so this is an obvious game. We all know how it's being played, and that's how we do it. So please send your questions. I always have to remind you, if the question doesn't reach me before it's Q&A time, I can't put it to the speaker. It doesn't help to send smart questions just after the time is done. Okay, so I think we're all set, aren't we? I thought somebody in the Minerals Council can now write. This is a whole new generation of people in the Minerals Council. I'm so impressed with them. And I thought the piece that they put out yesterday was very well written, obviously biased as an industry participant. I want to quote, the solutions are clear. Create a globally competitive regulatory environment. Implement a modern and transparent mining cadastre. Streamline regulatory processes. Coordinate between departments to create a one-stop shop for mining. Remove infrastructure bottlenecks and develop a shared vision for mining's future. I don't know why you guys aren't getting it done. It's so simple. Our first panel are going to kick it off. I grew up, obviously 50 years ago, under an infamous man called Brian Gilbertson. One of the many sayings we ascribe to Brian Gilbertson, don't know if it's true. He used to say, apparently, no friction, no warmth. So on a cold winter's morning in Johannesburg, let's have some friction. Tsiki, come. Live up to the expectation I've created for you and your panel. Let's go. Thank you very much, everybody.